Hello, I'm Namrata from Oges, your host for the session, and I welcome you all to the fourth webinar of Oges Global, a pioneer in oil and gas knowledge management, where you can ask questions in oil and gas and get answers from experts in the field. Oges is now an official media partner of Petrotech, one of the biggest oil and gas exhibitions held in Asia Pacific. You can contact Oges for registering your participation in this global oil and gas exhibition, and for details you may log into www.oges.info. Today we have with us Mr. Pranab Borthakur. Hello Pranab.
Hello.
A mechanical engineer grounded at IIM Lucknow and ISB Hyderabad, Pranab has a rich industry academia interface, which facilitated his conferment with Society of Petroleum Engineers Distinguished Member in 2011. Taking over as Director Offshore in Oil and Natural Gas Corporation India in October 2012, Mr. Borthakur has played a key role and made several contributions in various fields as an expert oilman of India. Let us join to get his viewpoints on the bright spot of global oil and gas market, India for now, its growth prospects, conducive environment policies, and about small, new discovered oil fields. Pranab.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Namrata, for the introduction. In next half an hour, we'll talk about opportunities, growth, and return in India on reference to its oil sector. To do that, let us first look at what is the position of oil and gas industry as a whole. We know that the prices of oil and gas is at almost around $40, which is very close to our bottom line. We have in past also seen some spikes in between. The spikes are primarily due to global disruptions. We don't expect much of change in the scenario of peace in Nigeria, Iraq, Syria, or Venezuela, which means there will be supply disruptions periodically, but to compensate that, today we see Saudi, Iran, and US immediately enhance their productions, and it brings it to the level. So the prices are remain almost, it comes back. I expect that this trend will continue for next at least 2 years, and maybe in the long run, the oil price may go to around $70, but with a caveat, my guess is as good or as bad as yours. So the global scenario is such that we should be, as an oil industry fellow, we should be ready to continue at around between $40 to $45, if not lower, in coming years. But if we look at the Indian oil market, this gives us a absolutely different pictures. Reports and survey, what has been conducted, has been shown that India is growing economically at a rate of 7.5 to 8%, and we expect to grow at this level in coming few years. There has been movement, and after a long time, probably India is going to invest a lot of dollars in the new oil fields, which will bring out growth. The consumption of petroleum products as well as investments have been showing upward trend. The east coast of India is actually expected to see substantial amount of investment from NOCs like ONGC, semi-government organizations like GSPC, and private players like RIL. Additionally, second NOC of India, which is slightly smaller than the ONGC, that is Oil India Limited, is also exploring in that area. And we expect that they will also in coming years raise the investment level on that area. So having said that, let us now see what is our experience in executing key oil and projects in India, and what are the basic problems that we face in this subcontinent with respect to type of reservoirs and its production problems. So if we look at the moment we talk of India, everybody talks about Mumbai High Field, because Mumbai High Field is one of the giant fields in the world. But I can tell you, this is one of the most difficult field. This is a carbonate reservoir. This is a highly fractured carbonate reservoirs. It has a spread over 1200 square kilometers. The layers are thin, it's multi-layered. Reservoir has already been depleted to a great extent. The sweep has been, as usual, all brownfield problems. Sweep has been ununiform. We have been producing water at a very high, quite a good rate. Secondly, because it is a widespread 1200 square kilometers, we need to make a lot of wells, and these wells are actually from each platform we can't get more than 9 to 12 wells. Therefore, we have large number of platforms in hundreds, so which makes this field a little more difficult. On top of that, these are limited by the permits of the rigs. So certain type of rigs only go to a certain level of rigs. So we have another issue. We have limited working period. Monsoon comes means by May end we have to stop all major construction operation in the West Coast till maybe end of September or early October. So we have limited work period. There are huge gas fields also along with the Mumbai High. But in spite of all this, Mumbai High still continues to produce, and you will be surprised to know in last almost from 76 it was discovered. It is still producing, and there has been natural decline, which is expected to be about 8%, has been arrested. And this itself is a very big achievement. And primarily, this part of the world has a very experienced workforce. There are a lot of open to new supporting technologies. We can boost up. We tried almost all the new technology that comes to the market, and we make right type of investments at the right time. It is a little bit surprising for my overseas friend who are working in IOCs to know that our investment is more or less insulated from the cost of the oil. It will be surprising for you, but it's a fact. If we look at the history of last 30-40 years, we have been constantly giving input to these fields irrespective of the price of the crude, because we look at the long run. So we never stop our investment in short term, looking at the short term pictures. So even today, when the rest of the world have cut down, we are at almost the same pace. Now, one other important factor is, other than that, we have a lot of field in onshore, which are mostly sandstone reservoirs. These sandstone reservoirs also have its own problem. These fields are 40 to 60 years old. These also have to do a lot of investment over a period of time. So therefore you can see, though these are brown fields, we have a lot of opportunities for investment, lot of works are being done continuously. So that is about the mega fields. We now can talk a little bit of marginal fields. These marginal fields in ONGC especially, and partly Oil India also, we have been working in all four corners of the country. All we know that we have huge number of sedimentary basins which are yet to be explored. And in the process, we have experience of all geographically and geologically. Therefore, this type of experience has helped this country to monetize many of the marginal fields. I cannot resist myself from giving few examples how things have been done in this part of the world. We all know Western offshore has a major mega field, and it is sweet. But within the sweet field, we found few small blocks which are marginal in nature, which is having very shallow, which is having about 28 to 30,000 ppm of east to west. Now it is not possible to produce this and put the product into the sweet environment of the rest of the field. So what was done, that this entire oil and gas was sweetened in offshore. Offshore itself, the sweetened gas in the offshore is put into the sweet services. Thereby we have been able to produce this field, and it is producing for last 2 years. It's a very a proud moment for all the Indians, especially the ONGCians, that this is probably the second unit in the world which has been producing, and this only gives you an idea that all type of technologies, we are open to all type of technologies, whether we are very keen to do experiment. Second, another field which was a small field and marginal field, we have done on and off. We had gone to that field, come back, again have gone to that, come back, and started finally as a marginal field. But today, that field has turned out to be a major field, and ESP in offshore has been extensively used in this field. So the lesson we learned, that whatever is today marginal, small, may not be marginal always. It can turn out to be a mega field. What we have seen in one of the field, we call it D1 field. Similarly, we have developed few small structures, making a cluster of them and naming it as a cluster 1, cluster 2, and develop those fields. So these fields are producing for many years. These are the success stories. Now, with this background, I would now come to the discovered marginal fields, what has been put for production, for auction. Sorry. These are actually small in size and marginal in economics. But the bright part is that almost in each block, hydrocarbon is established through drilling of actual wells. We have seen hydrocarbon at the surface. In most of the cases, the data are available, and we feel that in most of the cases, data is adequate to take a decision. Means decision-making data that is required is almost available. Small things which are not there, like software, can be rented out and take for evaluations. And I think a small group of people consisting of geologists, geophysicists, production engineers, drilling engineers can evaluate these fields. It need not be that we have large number of teams. A few, 1 or 2 teams can go one by one and evaluate the things. Okay. This takes me to a favorite topic, that what is the policy of the discovered oil fields. Or Government of India has taken a remarkable initiative to monetize these discovered marginal fields through auctions. Actually, these fields were discovered by two national oil companies, and they are mostly located in and around the major oil fields of this country. So therefore, the logistics and others will be quite easy, relatively. I'm talking relatively. And in this round, the government has given freedom for pricing of a product. So finding of consumers will not be a challenge. As I told you, most of the fields are in and around the infrastructure available, or the market is available. With the price, I would like to add that, do you know what is the present price of gas we get in India? Any guess? Okay. Now, whatever gas today, even when the market is absolutely down, whatever gas we import to India, we can't reach to consumer below $7 per MMBTU. We can't reach, because and our own domestic production is not at all sufficient. It primarily goes to the priority sectors, because we are a developing country. We require a lot of fertilizers, a lot of power, so it goes to those. So it maybe that I think the $6.5 to $7 will be easy target we can make for the development purposes. There are a few good things that has come up in a recent study. A recent study was conducted by an independent agency, very recent. This is, I think, within a month or so. It has shown that improvement has happened in the business environment. Around 87% of the investors showed their confidence in oil and gas sector in India. About 82.3% gave positive rating on investment. Ease of doing business has improved. That has been these days, this is the buzzword. Even the worst critics are telling that yes, the ease of business has been improved. We are aware that there are certain moves to take some more business-friendly decisions, which is within the administrative capability of the government. So these discovered small fields would require relatively small investments, and therefore the revenue sharing model which the government has suggested on this discovered field will be very suitable. I'll come back to that slightly little later, the other type of investment and where it is good, and that's my personal opinion. Another very good thing is the offshore marginal fields. The existing operators infrastructures, if someone is offered for utilizations, that can be given, and it is open to that. So we can see that the policy is quite encouraging for small and new players. Thus, this has a very good opportunities for the young players. We'll just touch upon on a slide what is my opinion about the revenue sharing method and the production sharing contract. See, revenue sharing has a lot of advantages. No, it has very limited interference, very limited approval process, very few audit. Therefore, the operator can have freedom, and then make the decision process becomes more efficient. Whereas in the cost recovery regime, what we have so far is that's where the projects have large uncertainty, where the investment is very high, technology is very high required, so probably cost recovery regime will be more suitable. So therefore, when we talk of major investment in deep water and difficult areas, I think revenue sharing regime is not likely to attract big investment from outside India. That's my assessment, but that is not so for this marginal block what has been offered. Marginal block, probably I still maintain that revenue sharing is the best thing that can happen. So now we'll go and see what are the takeaways that the government has offered in the marginal field auctions. These are actually, they have offered, there are many points. For paucity of time and degree of importance, I will only quote few things what I think is very important and very attractive. One, that there is a single license for exploration and exploitations. That is again conventional or unconventional. If you go for on this, happen to get non-conventional. If you go for conventional and happen to get non-conventional, you are allowed to exploit. Exploration is allowed during the entire contract period. It was not so in the PSC model. Another interesting is they have made it very simple. Bidding criteria is only two. Work program, weightage is very low, it is of 20% weightage, and biddable government revenue share, which is 80% weightage. So this shows government's keen and he is more interested on what you give him rather than what you do. Another very interesting part is that this time up to 100% participation by foreign companies. Either they can come on their own or they can come through their joint venture. Technical capability has been kept very low for bidding purposes. Not that they want low technology people. No, it's not there. It's just so that any good startup company or venture company can, combine together with some technology guys and some very little experienced guys, experienced company, and then can bid. Then will be minimum tax and levies. We have seen there has been a very rational way of levying taxes and levies. As I said, freedom of marketing. Also, I mentioned about the infrastructure sharing from ONGC and oil. If supposing some infrastructure is available which has been offered, then it will be on the book value. You can now take a poll which country is capable and is aggressively investing in deep water exploration and development in spite of in a low regime. When the day is good, sun shining, oil price 100, 120, everybody will jump for exploration. But how many of us in the world are interested to do when the chips are down? Any guess? Okay, now so we are 50%. We are as true, because the other interesting thing is that both are mainly driven by the NOCs. Okay, now let us talk. This is a short term what we talked about of the marginal field prospect and doing work in a brownfield opportunities and in the brownfield. That part we have shown. Now let us see what lies ahead for us where investments are mega. Most of our prospects and inventories are in deep water and ultra deep waters and primarily in the east coast. We have also some shallow water prospects. Not some is quite a substantial, but they are characterized by high pressure, high temperature, and very tight reservoirs, which naturally are a bit risky. and they call for high investment and high level of technology. Unfortunately, weather conditions on the east coast are a limiting factor. Our sea is not benign, and the monsoon does interpret us more frequently than in east coast. West coast, so east coast is monsoon is more of interventions than in the west coast. So I think with this type of field and this type of resource set, for deep and ultra deep waters, I think we may have to go back to the cost recovery method. And we are aware, and I'm sure the government is also aware, that this will require major modification inviting transparency. I think we have to have more transparent. We said deep water requires deep pocket, deep water technology and experience, whereas shallow water requires your niche technology because it's a high temperature, very high temperature and very high tight formations, and it requires niche technology, which is, and we require, that means large fracturing capacity also. So for the deep water part, we have lot of opportunities for big IOCs, small companies with having niche services, or medium size, which not only can do services to the well, but can also do the other services related to the oil field. With this, I now come to the last part of my presentations, which is, what does the future hold for our oil field services in our oil and gas industry? Personally, I am very optimistic. I feel oil field services will come out as a bright spot in the Indian growth results. Currently, NOCs are having their own services partly only, not fully. I mean, in onshore, it's almost 90%, 80% by their own. In offshore, maybe 30%, 20% of their own. So therefore, there is an opportunity for a quantum increment in the services. Luckily, we all have realized that an shifting from, instead of owning, is shifting towards outsourcing. It would like to keep a balance between own and outsourcing. Today, it is slightly skewed. I hope, I know that things are under considerations to make it more balanced. You'll be surprised that highest number of rigs are concentrated, jackup and floater, in and around Mumbai. So this is, I think it is one of the highest concentration of the rigs. And we normally operate 37, 38, 40 rigs in an Indian water. Now most of the services like OSB, MSB, crew boat, helicopter, these are outsourced. So all of this, the new licensing policy which government is presently working on and waiting for the right opportunity to come up, will bring a lot of investment into the East Coast, and that will increase service sectors manifolds. This will definitely require much more latest technology, state-of-the-art equipment, especially for the high temperature, high pressure fractures, deep water gravel pack, which some of them can be obtained from the established players, and some niche companies will definitely come up. One more important thing I see is an ideal place and time to shift manufacturing unit to India. We all know that the advantage of labor wages and the power wages, what was available in China, is no longer there. The manufacturing costs have been increasing time and again. So, and we are a vibrant democracy. We have a very young workforce. We are developing infrastructures. Our labor law have been relaxed. Investments have been open for FDI. So probably this is now the right time and right place, and the market is there. Market is there, so it's the right time for the oil equipment manufacturers to shift their manufacturing unit to India. Last, not the least, we can utilize a forum like this to exchange our ideas, to have discussions, and they can work as a catalyst to bring us together and increase our strength, so that we invest and we work together in this part of the world. With these words, I thank you all for listening me, and look forward for your questions and answers. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pranay, for your valuable insights and viewpoints on important aspects around growth in oil and gas sector in India and abroad. If the audience has any questions, we may take a few right now, or you may post your questions on www.oges.info with hashtag next5in India. For more detailed information, you may log on to our website, and we meet again in our next session with Mr. P.K. Borthakur at 8 p.m. IST today. Thank you very much.
Gracias.